Hi, and welcome to Making Vinyl at Masterdisc. I'm Scott Hall. This is Garrett Robinson. We're going to talk to you again about a little small topic, but very vital topic around mastering, about cutting lacquers, how we get those lacquers from our cutting studio to the plating studio. So it's a really important little detail. We have a lacquer that degrades in quality slowly after it's been cut. So an ideal circumstance is to have this lacquer plated within a few days, certainly after it's been cut. If the lacquer goes through extreme temperature changes, which sometimes we have in the Northeast here in the US, especially warm cycles, like going in and out of air conditioning into a really hot environment, a very humid environment, that will ultimately have some impact on it. We haven't done too many tests specifically. We just know that if the lacquer doesn't get to the plant quickly, we have problems.
More chance, the environment will act on it.
Yeah, I've seen the point made that plating the lacquer right away after it's cut makes for a quieter record with less groove pre-echo. We'll explain groove pre-echo on another episode. But it's unclear how much it degrades in those first 2 or 3 days. 3 days, I'm starting to worry about it. 2 days, I'm not really very worried about it. And if it can get there the next day and be plated, that's great. That's the way we want to get it done. We want to get there. So how it gets packed is an important item. But give us one of the lacquer packs that we use. Oh, I didn't ask for pizza.
This is what we got.
Oh, okay. It's a lacquer box. It looks exactly like a pizza box. This is a die-cut cardboard, 2-piece, relatively custom-made lacquer handling box. We actually connect with our other colleagues in cutting, and we make a gigantic order, and we all get, a few thousand of these things sent to us. This is a sturdy and sound way to get the discs to the plant. The lacquers are actually bolted in. I'll hold this while you put another disc in. So when we load the lacquers into the box, we don't want the grooves, obviously, to touch. And we need to hold it firmly in place. So we put a disc on the bottom to protect the first groove. Then we put the second disc in grooves down to protect those grooves. And then our spacers and our hardware go on top, and we run a nut down on top of that. And that's actually, we tighten that down very scientifically with a nut driver. And when that just about breaks the cartilage in my elbow, then that's tight enough. And then this now is holding that disc firmly in place, and the secondary cardboard has a pretty good chance of keeping it safe in most transportation. We send lacquers like this in these boxes all around the world. Probably less than 1%, maybe 1 or 2% end up with shipping damage that we have to replace, but nothing too extreme. This is called a lacquer pack, and generally we only put 5, no more than 6 records in here, because the weight of all those lacquers together can rip out the bolt hole in the bottom of the cardboard. And we kind of have to depend that someone's going to drop these things somewhere along the way.
Someone will drop them somewhere.
Yeah, or throw them onto chuck them onto a conveyor. Yeah. If it gets run over, it's toast. Even if it gets wet, it's toast. We tape it up and seal it, but it's not protected from actual wet weather. So that's version 1. Let's see the other one. So this is a lacquer shipping container developed by our friends Nipro. Nipro is a plating facility that went to the trouble of designing a new type of shipper for the detail-oriented, for the people who really can only have it one way. So this is an outside cardboard piece and then closed cell foam surrounding a motion lock plastic container. Now I'm going to take this away just so that we can focus on this. This doesn't look like it can support the lacquers as well. It's got no center hole, there's no bolts. But what this does is locks the records in place around the rim. It's really quite ingenious. Nipro Records created these things, and they made them available for us to use at a very nominal cost. So there's the side with the grooves that we want to protect. We actually put the groove side, in this case, down because there's a raised support right there that holds the center, and the disc is rim locked into the plastic container, and it actually it moves around ever so slightly, but it doesn't hit anything important. It's supported on the outer rim where there's no recorded material, and it's supported in the center where there's no recorded material. Then we take our second record and we put it in grooves facing up this time, being really careful not to talk over the disc because moisture in my voice will damage the disc. And then we put the sandwich together, and now it's nicely held in place. That then gets put down inside the packer. Two of these fit inside of one of these boxes, and we have a larger box. If we're doing 8 sides or 10 sides, we can actually build these up so that more than 4 records can go into a box. And now the foam does 2 things. It gives us shock absorption, gives it a lot more resistance to damage, and it gives us some thermal protection as well. It takes a while, once this is sealed up, it definitely takes a while for the heat to and cold to penetrate. So even if the lacquer is subjected to big temperature changes, they won't be nearly as sudden as they are in the other one. So this is the premium lacquer pack. It's available for shipping to any location, any destination. We generally use this for shipments within the States to plants whose customers really care about the finest details. It's more expensive, but we've been able to make it a little more affordable because we recycle them. We don't recycle the components. They don't go into the recycle bin. They come back to us. So we're actually charging just a rental for the box and for the tray. We're able to get a bunch of shipments out of each one of the trays before they start to break if they're handled reasonably well. And most of the plants have been good about getting them back to us. So that's how we pack up and ship a lacquer and get it quickly via express shipping, and that's how we get it to the plant so that we can have the best possible record. We want to get the most music on the disc with the least number of defects possible, and that's what we spend all day and night worrying about to perfect that process. Thanks for watching. This is Scott and Garrett making vinyl at Masterdisc.